At the same time, after I came back on the job, what I have done in the last 12 months is we have acquired 7 or 8 companies globally. 4 of them have been in Europe. We have acquired companies in Portugal, companies in Austria, in France, companies in Germany, and companies in Finland. We've not acquired UK companies. We have been successful because we have now got delivery centers in about 12 different cities all over Europe. Only one of them is in the UK. The other 11 are outside of the UK. We have added 1,000 European people in 1 year's time to be able to address the European market. So the answer to the question posed to all of us, I don't think is a choice that Indian providers have to make about build or buy. It's a question of build and buy. You buy with a mindset to build. And to elaborate the build point, we actually started and launched a development center in Bucharest, in Romania, in the month of December 2006. January 31st, 2007, the entire center is sold out from customers in continental Europe. We are looking for a new center to develop. So the build concept works definitely, but it needs localization, it needs relationship, and it needs a combination of build and buy.
Thank you. And finally, Stefan Getz, managing partner at Getz Partners from Germany. He's promised to be politically incorrect if that's the only way he can convey his point.
Good morning. I can only address you first by saying that I must believe in the continental European Indian story, because yesterday we announced a strategic exclusive joint venture with Avendus, an investment bank that is specifically focused on the IT industries, and we will, in this joint venture, address Indo-European deals as the core theme. And we wouldn't do that if we were to believe that it would stay like it is right now, which is almost an insignificant relationship when you exclude the UK. Some of the things we said here you can find in this wonderful Avendus report, which also came out yesterday. But before I go on with the marketing, let me make a couple of comments. The US is not particularly known for being culturally extremely sensitive when addressing the world. Nevertheless, US companies have been very successful in cracking that code in Europe, and that is IBM, and that is Accenture, and that is others. It took them a lot of time. It was done by acquisitions. It was done by building on the back of acquisitions, as you just said. And it was done by also key hirings, getting to hire people in the country from that nationality that are eye to eye with decision makers in the respective industries. All of this was necessary to establish these US firms as leaders in the IT space in Europe. Now, how does that relate to India? I believe India can do the same. Problem is, of course, that today the cycles are much faster, so you don't have those 30 years to do that. You will have to be faster. And as Wipro did, you will have to make acquisitions. Now, what type of acquisitions are we talking about? We're probably not talking about the mega transactions in which the Indians haven't been present and probably shouldn't be present for the time being, but certainly highly focused, industry-specific and service or segment-specific transactions. Those can make a lot of sense because they help in, when we're talking about building a relationship, the first is kind of getting to know each other. So you first have to know a culture, the history of that country, and then you build the relationship when you got to know each other. Targeted acquisitions can be of high assistance in that perspective, and then you build on the back of that, as we just heard. Now, we are involved in a lot of transactions across European countries, and if I take something like TDS, it was a transaction in Germany, a 100 million transaction would have been a nice bite size for Indian companies. There was no, it was done by Fujitsu, there was no Indian company in the finals. If I take a GEDAS in Germany, the IT arm of Volkswagen, no Indian in the finalists. And I could go on with that list. And the politically incorrect statement that I was asked to repeat is that we had a fascinating meeting some months ago with the CFO of an Indian very significant IT company. And I came with a couple of colleagues, managing directors from different countries in our organization, one of which was the French managing director, and he asked, well, how do you feel about France? And this gentleman just looked at him 1 second and then said, France is a socialist country, we're not even going to look at it. And the Frenchman was, of course, shell-shocked. You know, and if you have that type of, subtlety, you're not going to crack France necessarily. So I think I'll leave it here for the moment.